She wasn't the most beautiful woman I'd ever met, but she certainly wasn't ugly. Her attractiveness lay in the way she moved. She was very sleek and languid, like an exotic cat. I had the feeling that she could be very dangerous while off her leash.
Hi, stranger. I haven't seen you around here before. Are you new in town?
No. I've been here for a long time. Where have you been?
Right here, where I belong.
Her long golden hair glowed like the sun, and her eyes were full of some kind of inextinguishable passion that I couldn't quite fathom.
Passion.
Let's face it, I'm a sucker for mysterious women, especially when they're wearing a very revealing gold sequined dress that left very little to the imagination. What are you drinking?
Martinis, mostly. Too many, I suppose. But what's a girl to do when she's bored, right?
Right. So let me buy you another one, and maybe I can help cure your extreme case of boredom. I've been known to lift people from the very depth of despair with my natural charm and wit.
That's quite a claim. I hope you can live up to your reputation.
That's when the Ice Queen began to melt, and she started to have fun with me. I caught her eyes as she gave me a sly look. I admit that I was beginning to feel a little hot under the collar, but for all the right reasons. So I ordered a couple more martinis, and as we clinked glasses, I noticed a tall, pale man watching us from the rear of the restaurant. Somebody you know? She looked over her shoulder at him, and he turned away to face the wall.
Him? Oh, he's just another jilted lover boy. He thinks he wants to marry me, but I'm far too young for him. I mean, he must be at least 30 years old.
Incredible. I couldn't resist the temptation to make fun of her. My words were absolutely dripping with thick, unsympathetic sarcasm. I'd already checked her out from head to toe, but I was still unsure of her age. How old are you, anyway? She took a long sip from her martini and frowned at me.
Now, you must know that it's impolite to ask a girl her age. Didn't your mama ever teach you that?
My mama told me to stay away from girls like you. At that point, she threw her head back and took a long drag from her cigarette. She blew smoke straight up into the air, and it hovered like a dense fog over her head for a few seconds before it slowly disappeared into nothing. Her smile was magnetic and her eyes flashed.
Well now, maybe your dear mama was wrong on that one point, mister. I might be just what you're looking for. Of course, you won't know unless you try me.
I'm not against that idea. If you got the time, I got the curiosity. Okay, so I was completely disarmed and outmatched at that moment. But you can't really blame me for being a dunderhead under those circumstances. I'd been able to think more clearly in the middle of a battlefield than I could at that moment for this powerful adversary. So I just said the first thing that came into my mind, even if it wasn't one of my best lines. Baby, you are sizzling. I can feel the heat from over here. I'll bet you could warm up my cold heart. But
You are very fresh, aren't you? What do you do for a living? Write books about how to pick up barflies?
Exactly. I'm in the insurance business. I ensure that people survive their stupid mistakes. What about you?
Yes.
Let's see. I don't think you're a candy striper or a secretary. Hey, what about a dancer? That would fit you just about right.
That's not fair. You must have seen one of my shows.
No, I haven't. It's my business to be able to size up people so quickly. It's how I survived the game. She rustled through her tiny purse and pulled out a business card and handed it to me. In gold sparkling letters it read, Trixie Delight, world's premier burlesque artist. I was glad to see she thought she was big time. Yeah, I've been to the Roxy a few times, I said with a wink and a smile. But I know I would have remembered you.
Thanks. That's a real nice thing to say to a girl. What's your name, big boy?
Nick. And what about you, honey? What do you call yourself?
Trixie. My name is Trixie Delight.
A very effective stage name. Did you pick that one, or was it your manager?
Trixie?
She frowned at me once again, and this time it was the expression of a woman who had been around the bend a few times, but wouldn't mind trying it again if her chances looked good. She reached out for her cigarettes, which were laying on the top of the bar next to her martini glass. She wore large gold charm bracelets on each wrist. They tinkled like tiny bells whenever she moved her hands. I saw no wedding ring, and I was satisfied that she was probably single.
Hey, I'm not joking. That's my real name.
As I lit her long cigarette, she told me,
My folks were a barrel of laughs.
I'll bet they were. I didn't know whether to believe her, but then it didn't really matter if she was telling me the truth. At least she was trying to add some humor to the dialogue, so I was enjoying her barroom conversation style. It reminded me of a film noir movie I'd seen recently. She typified the kind of woman you meet in bars. Often they look for all the world like goddesses while drinking themselves into oblivion. I was convinced that underneath her tough, broad exterior, she was probably very clever. For the moment, she wanted to play with her mouse before she went in for the kill, and I had to ask myself this one pertinent question. Am I just another one of her toys? Then I might as well play it to the hilt. I mean, what did I have to lose? With no ring on my finger and no heavy commitments to worry about, I felt free enough to test the waters, to see if I could swim in her stream. I wasn't really fishing. Actually, it looked like I'd been caught by an expert. You performing at the club tonight?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I'll be going on stage around 9 o'clock. If you're free, you can meet me there. We could have a drink in my dressing room after the show.
Well, I'd be a fool to turn you down, baby. Consider it a date.
You're on. I guess I'd better finish my drink and get over to the theater.
Well, don't let me make you late, Trixie. I wouldn't want that on my conscience. She downed her martini and ate her olive off the stick in a very seductive manner. I wasn't sure where any of this would lead, but if Trixie was bored, well, I was certainly willing to entertain her for a while.
See you later,
she said as she left the bar. Watching the way her hips swayed back and forth as she walked out of the joint, I thought I might actually be getting a little seasick, so I reached out with one hand to steady myself on the bar. Actually, holding onto the bronze railing with both hands seemed to work best. Luckily, after a few minutes, the room finally stopped spinning around, and I could breathe again. Yeah, I was completely spun by this girl, despite my best efforts as a gentleman, to avoid those intoxicating yet debilitating dizzy spells that her mysterious beauty seemed to inflict on all the other men around her. I wouldn't say that she was a classic femme fatale exactly, but I could tell she was absolute trouble in the broadest sense of the word. That much I had already surmised by watching her loose manner and that devil-may-care attitude she possessed in spades. Surely not the kind of girl you want to bring home for the holidays to meet your conservative relatives. Besides, unless you're a filthy rich millionaire, a woman like her would always consider the idea of marriage nothing but a loser's game. She'd probably received half a dozen desperate proposals from drunk tourists and hard-up sailors after every performance. In Trixie's mind, these wild and passionate proclamations of undying love and affection were just one big stupid joke. These men were de rigueur in her world, nothing new, nothing to get excited about. I'd met a couple of dozen dancers by now, but Trixie was somehow different from all those cool, detached, cynical dames. It wasn't so much the thought of Trixie Delight's luscious fan dance that intrigued me. It was more about her unique approach to me at the bar. She was so brash and, well, delightful. Suddenly her parents didn't seem quite so ridiculous naming her Trixie after all. Maybe they actually got it right when they gave her that name.
To the further adventures of Nick Savage. Right side. Nick Savage.
Starring Mark Taylor-Canfield and Krista Lee Wolfe. Written, produced, and recorded by Mark Taylor-Canfield.